Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another installment of Cornerstone Creative Studios. My name is Jesse Cadre Hansen, and I'm here to, first of all, say thank you for chiming in. And I'll be inking a little bit tonight, so welcome to Slinging Inks with Cadre. Okay, so feel free to chime in. Like I said, leave a comment, ask questions, all of the above, and I'll be here. And hopefully, if all goes well, I'll have some guests and they can talk and you can ask them questions as well. So let's get started. Tonight I will be inking on Joan of Arc. I was doing this a little bit the other night, and I'll be doing it again today. Trying to wrap this page up, or at least get close enough for government work. All right. So as you can see, this is my Joan of Arc. 1 second here, real quick. Let me reset that. Okay, back to it again. And we will close out this other tab. I don't need that open anymore. I don't need half the tabs I leave open, but here I am doing it anyway. So let's see. Got a message here. Was going to be joined by a gentleman this evening, but he can't make it due to technical difficulties on his end. So we'll have to reschedule that, and it's all good. It's all good. And like I said, my name is Jesse Hansen. Come check me out on Facebook at facebook.com/Jesse Hansen Art. That is me. My studio is Cornerstone Creative Studios. You can find us at Cornerstone Creative Studios on Facebook as well. And definitely come check us out. And also be sure to subscribe to cryptocomics.com/u/cadre. And you can actually find the Cornerstone Showcase book, which is 60 pages of finished content. That's 3 to 5 pages of each story that we have coming here in the near future. And you can actually get it for free right now. So make sure you go over there, sign up under me, under the Cadre account, and you can get direct access to it. Okay? Okay, now I am going to go back to inking, and hopefully you all like what you see. All right, here we go. Here's the last few other things that I was doing. There we go. And back to live action. Let's see. If I suddenly disappear and I'm gone, I'm supposed to have company here really soon. I just got on here, figured get some work done real quick while I had a chance. And so if I just disappear or go offline, that's probably why. They probably came in the front door and I had to get off real quick. Was not trying to be rude or anything like that by just disappearing, just giving you all a little heads up, just in case. All right. It'd be ruder if I just disappeared and didn't tell you ahead of time, right? Just sharing the stream link there for a little bit. Actually, I shared the wrong link. Sorry if it seems like I'm distant here. I'm trying to hook something up real quick. And here we are. Let's see, how do I do this here? Stuff's still a little bit foreign to me, you might say. And that's the wrong one. We go back. Here we go. That's the one I want. All right. All right. Sorry about that, folks. Back to work. There we go. All right. I will try to check my comments periodically, answer any questions that may arise or what have you. If y'all have any. Don't have any questions, then just make a comment. And I'll answer accordingly on that too. There we go. All right, he says no sound I got. Oh, I got my mic's on. I can hear myself on YouTube. And if you all are wondering what the heck I'm talking about comments right now. It says, hey, hey, hello, no sounds from T3 Comics Presents, also known as Tom Rapka. And there he is. There's no note from him. So let's see. All right, 1 second here. Let's see. Go to the fourth panel. 1, 2, 3, 4. Anyway. All right, get back to work. That's one thing that like people get into side conversations and stuff. It's distracting from the work itself. That's why a lot of people don't do live streams when they're working. Me personally, I like it, but I don't get a chance to do it very often. That's probably why. This has been a really good company to work for. They always come up with some interesting content. Like this story is Joan of Arc. Okay, so that's pretty much self-explanatory, except the way they're approaching it is really, really well done as far as story and presentation. The pencils on this book are by none other than our very own Alexandre or Alejandre. Anyway, it's Nascimento. He also did the first issue of Joan of Arc, which I inked, and Iwan Joko Triono did the colors on that issue, but he wasn't able to do it this time around. The colors, that is. Alexander did the pencils on the first one and on this one. And as you can see, he did a great job. I expect no less from Cornerstone cohorts. That's gonna make me look good. Now what I'm doing is I'm not bothering with the fix and thins on the outer edge of the ear there, because it's all gonna be filled in right here anyway. But just turn the straight outline of that part. So then I can come in here and boom, boom, there we go. Knock that out real quick. See that? I'll check my comments here in a second. If other people can't hear me, by the way, by all means, just chime in and let me know. And okay, it looks like our boy Tom got his sound working, so thank goodness that wasn't on my end, because I would have been talking for nothing. And it's hard enough to get me to talk, and hard enough to get me to shut up at times too. So, all right. So, as far as what is this for, I think Tom, you're asking about what book am I working on right now? I was just talking about it. You might have missed it when you had no sound, but it's for Joan of Arc #2. If you remember, actually, not long ago, I worked on issue #1, and I think that's really nice. I got a physical copy of it as well, and yeah, I was very, very pleased with it. Those that don't work in comics, sometimes the finished products in print don't look as good as they do on the screen, but that is one of those books that it definitely came out as good, if not better, in print than it did on the screen. It was pretty nice. I was pleased. And I'm kind of picky at times. All right, this. Now, if you see there's some X's right there, so I want to do something a little different here, though, because it really didn't make much sense of how he had X's at the top, X's at the bottom, but he didn't have any transition in between. Here's what I'm going to do. I just got a note, by the way. So I'm going to do something a little different. Let's see if this works. Oops. There we go. I don't like that. Let's do it this way. We go in here, do this. Select shrink. Let's go like 10 pixels. then there we go. It's a reversal of both ends. All right, see what kind of comment I just got. Oh, nice. Okay, good. Sound is good. Somebody just sent me a photo on the other end, so I need to take a look. See. Oh yeah. All right. Okay. Back to work. Sorry, guys. I get a lot of messages asking for input and you help me with this, or how do I do this and that and the other, which I'm humbled sometimes that people actually hear or value what I might actually have to say. You just don't know any better. But I like helping people when I can, where I can. Yeah. You're up. Now you know some of those lines aren't straight, so I'm straightening them up. Our job as inkers to fix things we see that are glaring, enhance the good stuff, and make a good finished product. I said it before, and I'll say it again. A lot of the time, people don't realize that the ink work is really what you see, as opposed to the pencilers that put it on the paper, because ink work is pencils that usually get erased. I know that seems like sacrilege, right? You erase the pencil's work, but let's see. Tom says in his comments, he goes, "Oh, nice," and he's, "I dig your new graphic." I'm not sure exactly what he means by that. That says, "You ever use Photoshop to ink?" No, I don't use Photoshop to ink. I will use Photoshop to finish things up and tidy them and clean them, stuff like that at times. I just don't like the feel that Photoshop gives you when it comes to trying to get crispness, if you know what I mean. That being said, a lot of people have gotten the hang of it and like it, but you know, teach their own. I'm not downing it. I just I use it for coloring, or I'll use it for cleaning up panels, or something along those lines, but not for inking itself. All right. Okay. Bottom of the screen, YouTube graphic. Ah, okay. You're talking about the little banner and where I put the name in. Thank you, Tom. The little things. And just so people know who I'm talking to, I am talking to Tom Rapka of T3 Studios. There you go, Tom. Quick little plug for you, buddy. Appreciate your support. Yeah, one thing about StreamYard, allows you to do like little links and people leave comments and stuff like that. And you can actually show it on the screen while you're sitting there chit-chatting. You know? So it's kind of cool. I'm not as caught up to everybody as some people are when it comes to this whole live streaming and stuff like that. But I'm trying. I really am. A quick learn, quick study, however you want to say it. It's just a matter of figuring out the time to do it. That's always a challenge, at least to me. Keep them questions coming. Give me something to talk about. As you see, this panel is starting to come together now. Starting to come together. I'll get my comments here in a second. Let's go look at them now while I just clicked on the wrong one. Tom says it's looking good. I'm still working on my lines for hair. I'll bring up something in the page here to show how I approach hair. Depending on how it's drawn, depicts a lot of how you approach it as well. You know, some people draw hair in blocks, some people draw it in strands. I mean, personally, I like it when it's done in blocks with feathering coming out of it, but that's personal preference, I think. I'll do these lines here real quick. There's that. You got a question? Nope, no question. Just work related. Let's see. Select the tool. Here's what we're going to do here. We're going to do this. You all need to hear a little whining sound in the background. That's our puppies. People that was on the feed last time got to experience a little bit of puppy love. Our little baby girl had 9 little puppies recently. They are currently 5 weeks old and adorable as can be, as all puppies are supposed to be. But they really are. And I'm not even being biased. Let's see, any more comments? Says, you have any of your own books coming out in the near future? Yes, Tom, thank you for asking. We actually have American Eagle, which is coming out very soon. Since you brought it up, I will bring up a quick panel to show the world. The first 10 pages are already penciled and ready for inks, which obviously I need to ink. And I'll be doing that here soon. Let's see. Let's go to the Cornerverse folder. American Eagle. Let's go ahead and bring that up. Issue 1. Actually, you know what? Let's just bring up the cover. Show everybody the cover we got for number 1 coming out. We're going to run a crowdfunding campaign. It's going to be through Indiegogo. We've decided, multiple reasons, but here's the cover for American Eagle number 1, and we got a crowdfunder coming up soon. We'll be posting more on the Cornerstone site about that when the time comes. Pencil is going to be by Javier Lugo, My Inks, Mickey Clausen on colors. The cover here was done by Jerry Donato and then inked and colored by Mickey Clausen. We're excited about that. It's going to have a lot of goodies. It's going to be a 40-page book. And like I said, the first 10 pages are ready to go. We redid the pencils from the showcase book, tightened it all up, made it even better, I think. And hopefully everybody here thinks as well. And so we'll see. We'll see how everything goes and pay it by ear from there. And then after that, whether that's successful or not, we got Kinetic World Tour coming into play right after that. It's gonna be like a little 1-2 combo. So I'm excited about that. And World Tour is actually going to be the debut of a lot of characters, because in that book, Kinetic, which is our speedster, is going to be traveling around the world trying to save most of the big hero names in the world. Therefore, you actually get to see a lot of the characters in the Cornerverse all in one book. It's not your traditional crossover, because they're not going to be throughout the whole book or whatever, because he's got to try to save all of them. And you'll see when you check it out. Hopefully you do check it out. Kinetic's one of those fun characters that I think people are really going to dig too. Of course, I'm biased. I think all of our characters are really something that people are really going to be able to sink their teeth into, because they're more than just a visual, medium. It's, what we're building is something that actually has some substance to it. We feel teaching a lot of ethics and morals and stuff like that as well. That being said, we'll see how it goes. Let's see. I lose track what I'm doing here at the same time. Did I yak? Hey, that actually worked first stroke. That doesn't happen every day. Something like that, sometimes it takes multiple strokes to get it right. All right, let's see. Zoom in here. Right, as you can see, there's like little vine lines and stuff like that, vein lines and stuff like that, but I'm going to make it a little tighter and smaller. See what I can do about fine tuning a little bit. I wish you could play music on these things, but no. I understand why. I mean, a lot of people out there stealing music or using people's music for their own gain. Typically, I like using music when I'm working as a way to focus and zone out. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm doing these, I can't. A couple of reasons. One, you can't hear me talk. Not that anybody really wants to hear me talk. Another reason is because of the whole, piracy and all that stuff. Like I said, I understand why. Trust me, I've been a musician in the past myself, so I understand. So. Let's see. Let's see. Hard music, though. Not sure if you like that style. That's what Tom says. I guess he's talking about the music he listens to. Let me respond back here. And let's see. Okay. People asking my input on some stuff. So real quick, even though I really shouldn't during a live stream because that's not nice to you guys, but it's a little slow in the stream. Take advantage of that. I would do it for you too. Let's see. Your Mother's a Tracer. What movie is this from? That would be Chasing Amy, which is a sore spot with me. But it's a sore spot with every inker in the world. But it was a good movie. I'm just playing around. They're at that convention and says, "So what do you do?" And I said, I'm an inker." "You mean you're a tracer, right?" "No, I'm an inker." The whole debate, what inkers do. I tell people all the time, I say, "Well, you know what? A pencil gets all the fame, but they also get all the blame." People look at artwork, typically they're not realizing that they're looking at the inks. So if the inks suck, then you don't hear people say, "Oh, the inker is horrible." Nowadays, people are a little more educated and they understand what's going on. But back in the day, it's like people automatically thought that the artwork stunk, then the penciler stunk. So the inker got off the hook. Not so much anymore, to be honest. Yeah, you love that scene. Yeah. Let's see. All right, let's see how it looks with no blue lines behind it, shall we? Yes, let's check my, and voila. There's the inks with no blue lines behind it, ladies and gentlemen, for that panel. And above. Let me save this file real quick. I'm pleased with it so far. I'm going to go to another page just so I can show you, Tom, how I approach some of the inking of hair. All right, let that file save, like I said, and once it does, I will take another one out here, writing the file. All right, that's saved. So let me bring up a different page on the same book. So I'm continuously working on the same project. Let's see, from Voyage Comics, Joan of Arc #2. Let's bring up another page that I have to finish inking anyway. That's page 15. Let's see. What does 16 look like? I may have already inked this one now. Let me see. My go-go juice. La, 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 la. Come on. Ah, here we go. This is a decent one. I haven't done this one yet. So I will focus on, first let me convert my layer. I'm using Manga Studio. Even though I have Clip Studio, I still ink in Manga Studio, mainly because I'm familiar with it. And I don't feel like recreating all my brushes and ink tips and all that stuff. What tool did I use for that fading effect? Okay, let me go back to that page once it finishes converting the file and see if I know where you're talking about. 1 second. Sorry, it's taking a long time for this. Probably because I got multiple pages up and all that. Using up all my RAM. La, 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 la. Thank you, Tom. This is beautiful. I'm going to quote you on that one there on screen. Okay, I'm assuming you mean like this, or are you talking more talking about that fading effect? I'll wait for your answer before I respond. At the top. Okay, right where I have it now, for example. Okay, that is actually cross-hatching. For example, I did the same thing here. If you look, all that's just hatch, 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 hatch. It's just repeated cross-hatching is what that is. I like the effect it gives because it gives a nice gradient tone, but at the same time, it's not like the everyday you've seen it before type of hatching. So, all right. So now let me go to that one page that I brought up for you. And now this here, as you can see here, it's not very complicated, but I think it'll show you how I approach inking this kind of hair. All right, turn my blue line on, create 2 new layers, monochrome it, put out the bottom layer, make it white. I do this on every page, how I'm setting this up. I create a blue line layer out of the pencils. I create a top layer so that it shows that's the layer I'm going to be inking on. And then I do a full white layer so that when let's say, for example, hold on a second. Upside down right here. See, like let's say I got a bunch of inking down. All I got to do is turn off the blue layer, and it shows the white underneath it. If I don't have the white layer, then you see the grid transparency layer, which I don't like to see because it gets confusing sometimes. So there are tools I'm sure that do that, Tom. Like I do have a brush tool that does a cross hatching as well that I use for shortcuts. And sometimes I do that if I'm running out of time. But you can do the same thing. And Photoshop probably has like a gradient type tool that you can use and convert it to a bitmap, and it creates a crosshatch. Actually, I know it does, actually, since I know you use Photoshop. All right, so here we go. We're going to do some inking on here now. So let's see. All right, first I do my contours and keeping track of my light source. So I know my light's up here and my darks are down here because you see the black areas that the artist wanted to do it. So what I'll do is I'll build up. See the highlight area? And then build down into the darks. The darks of your hair. And you'll always hear me talk about feathering. I will never get away with not talking about feathering. Me, it's so important, and it's also very important when it comes to hair, especially. All right, bear with me, Tom, and I'll show you where we're going with this. Into the contours first. All right, now let's see. For example, let me take a big old block area here. I'll block in my blacks. And let's see, so let's just do part of the black. I'm not going to do the whole thing because just for time. Okay, so as you can see, all this is outlined. So now I'll fill that in black. And I'll take my brush tool and I will just start feathering. And by doing so, you'll see it creates a gradient because it's going from thick to thin. That's why it says so important to get that feathering technique down. And it doesn't matter if you're doing it traditionally, it doesn't matter if you're doing it digitally. If you can get that down, it gives it such a more organic look to it. And if I wanted to go like detail with it, I can even make my brush smaller, of course. But I think for this, I like the thick look because it gives it a more organic feel. See, just like that. Just in that one little small little section, you can see what it did. See what I mean? So I never knew how many lines. It's too many and end up filling it. Yeah, when people try to get too tight with it, that's what happens. And you can get kind of carried away with it. It's easy to do. Why is that a different layer? Yeah, it is. Clear that up. All right, so let me go ahead and finish what I'm doing here then. Since I'm here, might as well, right? One color. A little bit smaller in these strokes, not that strong. Sometimes, and I know some inkers do this, and I do it from time to time too, is I'll do all my feather work first. See, like this. So I'm not restricted by that block shape. Beautiful thing about here is that, let's say you're off of the original pencils a little bit, a couple little wisps don't hurt, you know, gives no more realism to me. See how quick that goes too? Just by remembering that you got brush strokes and then you have fills that can take care of the large black areas. All right, Tom, here we go. Bada boom. Head of hair. What am I missing? I'm missing the contour line over here. That's what I'm missing. All right, so let me drop that in there real quick. Let's fatten that line up a little bit more. Oh, there we go. And all right. Yes, and the sound effects are mandatory. Got to do that too. Just like that. It's a head of hair. Just create the inside area. And then, yes, looks awesome. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Tom. Thank you very much. Let me save this real quick before I lose it, because I've lost files on here way too many times. This is 16, so let me save that. I save my files a certain way so I can keep track of things better. And file is saving now, so if you have any more questions, go ahead and chime in and let me know. See, we got 3 viewers, so if anybody else wants to pop in a question, go right ahead. I know Tom's here with me. I know I'm watching. So let's see. That's saved now. So let's zoom out, zoom back in. Put my pen tool a little bit here. Different effect now. All right, now watch this. You ready? Ready for a little something there, Tom? I know you're watching. Tom's inquiry as well, ladies and gentlemen, just so you're wondering why it's focusing on that. Just so you know, I'm doing these ink lines here on a different layer. Now I'm going to show you why. It's a little trick that I do. Not everybody does it. You don't have to. Just some of the things that added nice little added effect. All right. For example, if you see where the hair goes over the eyebrow. Now here's the thing about that. To me, is I like to have a little bit of separation from the eyebrow and the hair, just so you can see a little bit. So watch, I just highlighted the hair part. I'm going to move it over a little bit, just a little bit, because it also overlaps down here over the nose. Okay. I'm going to go to my eyebrow layer, which you can see I selected. Hit delete. Now watch what happens. See that? Take my blue line. As you can see where the white surrounds it, right there and right here, you can actually see where it overlaps by doing that. See that? A little trick of the trade that I've taken in. So now I'm going to turn my blue line back on. Get back to doing the other hair over here. Actually, I'm going to undo that because the reason being is I'm going to do it all at one time and I'll finish the other one. I just wanted to show you though how I do that sometimes. Now this particular penciler, there's a lot of strands in his hair when it comes to his eyebrows and stuff. So I think it's cool. Gives it a little texture to it. And it gives me a little bit of a chance to give it textures of my own. Now when it comes to the lashes and stuff, I like to have a nice thick lash, even if it's, the reason he did real thin lashes like that is because it is a young girl. You know, it's Joan of Arc, and she wasn't very old. So he was trying to keep away from being sexy. It's nice, it's respectful, you know, it's a good thing. But as far as an inker is concerned, I like to have strokes in there. And even if I don't do long, luscious lashes or something, when I do the, when I do it, I'll come in here with a little curve just to show female, show some kind of look to it, you know. All right, now I'm about to show you one of my custom brushes. Ready? You ready for this? This is that crosshatch one we were talking about earlier. Bing, bada, boom. Keep going over until I get what I want. See? So let me straighten that up. I'll do the lips. All right, there's that. Helps if I get the right color. I'll still come in here with my sheet of patchwork. More form, see? I accidentally clicked the fill button on the wrong layer. So if you see that momentary pause, that is why. Okay, so now my screw up is done. I can go undo that. Thank goodness for the undo button. Let's try that again. Go back to the correct layer. There we go. Long brush strokes. Oops, I did the fill thing again. So yeah, excuse me. You see, why is that Pope so mad? Because Joan of Arc defied the church. She knew that the church members at that time was corrupt. That's teaching a little history. And she stood by her faith. Well, her faith told her to fight against what was wrong. And so that set history. Sounds like one of my puppies are dreaming. So that's why that Pope is mad. And that's why you see Joan of Arc here in chains. Even though she just led the army into combat because she disguised herself as a male. Because back then, remember, females weren't held in any kind of respect or esteem. So she had to disguise herself as a male. So like all these movies you see that women do that and all this stuff, it's not a new idea and it's not unheard of because it has happened in history. So it's not some Hollywood idea or concept. 1 second, let me send to my puppy.
What you doing? What you doing?
Okay. All right, I'm back. All right, here we go. Yeah, one puppy was biting the other puppy. Say, hey, get out my space. How'd they even know what my space is? All right, so that's I forgot about her story. She's a bad mother trucker. Yes, she was. Yes, she was. And like I said earlier about this company that is putting this book out, they it's a religiously based company, which, as you know, I like to work for companies like that that have meaning behind what they do, and they got some cool stuff. They got a book called Finian, and I'm also working on another book for them. Actually, I just finished my part, and Brian Magnier just finished all the colors for it. That was the and you see Alessandro. Oh boy, I'm trying to think here. Hold on a second. What was his last name? Alessandro Ventura. Sorry, we got a few people that have like Alexandro names and stuff like that. But Alessandro Ventura did the pencils. I did the inks, and Brian Raphael Magnier did the colors on Jonah's voyage to the city of Atlantis. And yes, it's the same Jonah as Jonah in the whale from the Bible. And what's cool about that book is the story is depicted from J.R. Tolkien's tale. J.R. Tolkien, the same one that brought us Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, and all that stuff. He did a story based about Jonah and his travels. And one interpretation is that Jonah actually visited the city of Atlantis. So, Voyage Comics, Voyage Publications, decided to do a book based on that story from Tolkien's writings, straight from it, because you know how creative Tolkien is. And we were luckily blessed enough to get called and say, hey, we want you to do this. And we, of course, had to say yes. And it was crowdfunded successfully, thank goodness. And so now the world will get to read that tale that a lot of people don't even know existed. So I'm happy to say to be part of that. And I'm not being biased when I feel that when people check it out, they're really, really going to like it because, you know, Alessandro did a phenomenal job on the pencils. Brian Magnier always does a phenomenal job on his colors as well. We put a really top-notch team together for that book, and and I'm pleased with it, and I'm proud of my guys doing their part. Always proud of my guys because they always do bring their A game. And I love it when companies come back to us and say, "Hey, you did this book for us. We want you to do that book for us. I think you're doing something right." Let's spin this around here, straighten it up. A little hash marks in there. All right, so now I'll be able to do that little trick I told you about earlier. Select my that over. Sweet. Not too far over. 1, 2, 3, 4 strokes. There we go. All right, so here we go. Panel number 1. Let's see how it looks without the blue lines. Boom. It's not too shabby. What do y'all think? Not too shabby. Okay. And now I will go back in here. Turn blue lines back on. Save my work so I don't lose it. Alrighty. Paint her over here now. Actually, that's there. Okay, and since we're on a hair kick, I will continue doing some over here. Just for you, Tom. What I'm doing here is, even though he had it all filled in black, I'm going to create this little, that area there is like a highlight. Just because I think it's going to be a nice touch. Now this one I don't have to worry about so many different values in the hair. It'd be enough. I wonder. Let's see if I can do this. All right, see if I can do this right. What I'm hoping to do here. There we go. What I did is I selected a certain area around it so I can get my little stroke in there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue that right on through. All right, well, that's it for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to sign off and continue to work, but I need to go ahead and focus on this a little bit more. Thanks, Tom, for hanging out with me, buddy. We'll have to do it again. We'll have to get you on the stream so you can actually chit-chat with everybody yourself. Hopefully we'll have a lot of viewers and stuff by that time. Let's see, his last comments were, I hate doing hair, but I gotta get better. That one, I'd have lines similar to the pencil. Fix it when coloring, LOL. Yeah, some people do. Some people like to fix things in the coloring stage, and I do too, but I like to have my finished inks tight as possible so the colorist doesn't even have to guess or do any extra work, because hate to say it, a lot of the time, by the time it gets to the colorist, you know, they're already working on a deadline. They're already behind or something like that, or they got to catch up. So I try to make it as easy as possible for them. And so for those that, like I said, came out and shared with me, I appreciate it again. And until next time, be blessed.